in terms of a day in your life, as an ADR, how
Hmm.
does your day begin? I mean, first off, obviously you're working from home, or are you always going to be working from home? Do you know, or are they going to have you in the office sometime whenever?
Yeah, you know what? So we're in California and we're a small company, maybe like 200 people at the most. I haven't even looked. A lot of tech people, a lot of people I haven't even met, not even on our Zoom meetings and everything.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be at home. There's every time we have I'll put it this way, every time we have a company meeting, they say we're not going back to the office yet.
Got it.
And maybe we would do like staggered days, like half
Okay.
time, um,
Makes sense.
if we do, but no one's even talking about a date.
Yeah. Far, far down the road. Okay. So
Yeah, we're
day in the
just
life.
completely functioning from home, everybody. Yeah.
So obviously, day in the life as a remote ADR. So how does your day begin? When you roll into the office or off, I don't know if it's office in your house or
Yeah, it's
bedroom or
my
wherever.
office. This is
What
my
what is it?
office.
How do you start your day? What does that look like?
Okay, well, the first things that I do are I check my email. Um, I look at Lead Lander. I
Okay.
use that to see who's visited our site. And then if any of those are my target accounts, I am emailing and calling them that day. I use Salesforce Pardot Engage. So I check my Engage alerts to see who opened my emails, or especially if they clicked on any of the links in them overnight or yesterday. And I make that list. Those people are my priority follow-ups. So I make my
Got it.
priority follow-up list based on activity that happened when I was. I turn on Drift. We have a Drift bot on our site, so I always turn that on when I'm available so that I can get inbound leads.
Okay.
And yep. And then some days we have sales training meetings in the morning, first thing. Some Mondays we have our weekly pipeline review with the account executives and the ADRs,
Okay.
and the VP of sales. So everybody's aware of what's going on where. Um, Other weekly meetings, we always do them in the morning, first thing. Definitely sales. There's sales training twice a week, and there's an ADR meeting twice a week.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so
Um,
there's like something every day usually.
Got it. Okay. Okay. And so you have your whole team, basically, the whole sales team at the beginning of the week, and then you have
Yep.
these two trainings. Are those individual trainings like a one-on-one with your manager, or a team like ADR training? What does that training look like?
Great question. No, it is the ADRs and the account executives are optional. Some of them come every week, some come now and then. We also have a team in the UK, so they join.
Okay.
And um, it's a group training and it's more of like methodology. We talk
Okay.
about track selling and gap selling, and kind of our VP molded it into something he calls trap.
Okay. I
Because it's
like it.
using both
Yeah.
of them typically,
Yep.
asking questions like, tell me a little bit about how you do that. Can you walk me through it? Open-ended things.
Okay.
Which I'm still really learning how to ask the right questions. Our product's kind of a hard product,
Mhm.
and so I'm still need a lot of practice.
Got
So
it. Okay.
yeah,
So that's good
it's
that
good.
they provide a lot of training.
Yeah,
So obviously, you start your morning, you check your emails, you turn everything on. Once it's go time, you begin prospecting. I guess maybe I'll take a step back. So I know there's some inbound, obviously, if you can hop on that. But in terms of
yeah.
outbound, you might have mentioned it. Like, how are you? Are you? You said you're assigned, the West and then Central. Are you assigned like a specific, an ICP, a buyer persona, target market, and like the leads are already in, Salesforce or whatever system you're using, or are you the one actually having to generate leads from that target market for outbound?
Yeah, I generate them. I mean, there may be some in Salesforce already because someone else had this job before I did.
Okay.
So if I'm revisiting a new account, like today, I was just looking at Workday and I was like, wait, we already called all these people in November, um, but they're showing up on intent in Zoom info. So like, I'm like, it would be a good time to get them. But then I'm like, we already talked to them. So anyway, so yes, I do prospecting, and to prospect, I use Zoom info. We have intent data, on that. And I also use LinkedIn Sales Navigator.
Got it. Okay.
And usually Sales Navigator has the more recent titles, and then you can pull that person's contact info off Zoom Info. Sometimes Zoom Info I found is a little outdated.
Yeah,
And then I
I've
fill
definitely
that
noticed that.
into Salesforce. We just are switching this week to Sales Loft
Okay.
instead of Pardot. So then I can pull them into Sales Loft, and we'll run our cadences out of that. And I do a personal email, a day one phone call, and then I put them in a cadence.
Got it.
That's
Okay.
21-day cadence.
Okay. And how many people in a day on average, how many calls and those first emails are you usually making in a day?
If I'm focusing mostly on that, on creating new, I average about 100 tasks a day, maybe 65 calls,
Okay.
and I'd say only about 15 to 25 would be brand new, because I'm not
Okay.
necessarily building out a new account every single day.
Got it.
Okay, but some days I'll do like a slew of them, because we do get leads from a lead service. So then I
Okay.
might be doing that all day long, basically.
Got it. Okay.
And yeah.
And then obviously, are you, I've talked to somewhere like they're on the phones 6 hours a day, emailing and stuff. For you, I guess, you're doing about 100 tasks. Is that pretty much all day long? Like aside from maybe a meeting and, the morning, checking your emails and then evenings, or is there others, or does that maybe only take you 2 or 3 hours and the meetings you have to sit in on those? I want to talk about that. When you book an appointment, what does that look like for you and your team?
Yeah. So yes, I'm mostly on the phone and sending emails, trying to do less of the custom emails, like in the middle of the cadence. But if I have an account that's hot, then I'm like sending specific things to them. But your question was,
in terms of once you book a meeting, you just called me up.
Oh yeah.
Are you hopping on that meeting to intro that prospect to the AE? Are you just email intro? Do you sit in on it? I'm always curious to see what different companies have their SDRs do.
Yes, the process here is I will set that meeting, send out the invitation, sit in on that call, and depending on which AE that account belongs to and how they roll, I might sit in on the next ones so I can learn more about the way we pitch the technology, or they might just like go for it and
go do their own thing.
I'm not on it.
Got it. Okay. So a lot of your days obviously is prospecting, either brand new stuff or stuff that's been worked for a while, and then obviously in between you're probably sitting in on meetings. Is there really anything else, like anything else that you would say that we kind of miss in terms of maybe not day in the life, but like, at least I do this weekly as well?
Let me think for a second. Well, actually, I should clarify that like prospecting, pulling in new accounts as a company, we focus on everyone does that weekly, even the AEs. So that's like today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, today's Tuesday. And so today we had our prospecting day meeting, and specifically today, and actually it runs into tomorrow, I like bank about 3 new accounts.
Got it.
So that's prospecting 1 day a week, usually runs into 2. And other than that, I set a lot of tasks for myself ahead in Salesforce. Like if I know I want to follow up with this person, or if I know that person's in a different time zone, like their company might be in California, but they live in Virginia, I'll set those to people the next day.
Got it.
Like call the East Coast. I think that covers it.
Okay.
We do our reviews.
Okay. And then I'm curious about autonomy. How much freedom do they give you? When you're mentioning the amount of activities you're doing a day, it didn't sound like, I'm sure they have you like make an estimated amount of calls, but it doesn't seem like it's super strict. Maybe like, all right, you have to make 100 calls in a day. Like you have to email this way. How much freedom in terms of your process would you say, you're actually given by, your manager and VP and whatnot?
Sure. Yeah, we have all the freedom that we want, just, enough rope to hang yourself, if you'll say. But
Yeah.
um the goals for us have changed. It was at the I don't know if other people were experiencing this, but like from when I started this job in July all the way to December, it was really, really hard to get even anyone on the phone, let alone have a significant conversation that would lead to booking a meeting.
Mhm.
So that's where we started, like the 100 touches a day goal.
Okay.
Now our goal is 3 conversations a day.
Okay.
And like if they're 3 meaningful conversations, then we're going to see what that can turn into. So I can do whatever activities I want to do. My goal is to get meetings, however I can get them. So the more time I'm spending calling, trying to get people on the phone, the better for me.
Makes sense.
So
Okay.
there's a lot of leeway. It's flexible. Um, yeah, we've got a small ADR team. There's only 3 of us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And we're all like prior, business work experience.
Hmm.
So I guess they figure we should be able to manage ourselves by now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think the last question I want to end on is, obviously you went through pre-hired early to mid last year. Obviously, you got hired in July. You've been on the job for 8 months now. Is there anything different? And maybe it's not drastically different. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad. Whatever it might be. But is there just anything different that hey, pre-art talked about this. I thought there would be a lot more calling, and we're not really calling on my job, or vice versa. Is there anything that was maybe different, that was, again, maybe a good surprise, a bad surprise, just a little different than what Prior talked about, or pretty much for the most part everything from the training was on par, from here and there little things?
Thanks for asking that. Yeah, the training was really great, as far as getting a taste of all the different technologies. So I think also the mindset part was great. It helps to know that you
Hmm.
just kind of roll with it, and we're salespeople, and it helps you think about like what you really are doing is delivering solutions. All of that was good. The things that might have been different were, I guess my team is much smaller than I thought it would be, and the company I was hired by is much
Okay.
smaller than what I thought it would be. But that doesn't matter, and
Yeah.
that's nothing having to do with the program. And I think uh, you covered calls pretty well. I think the emphasis on getting hired was really good.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I mean, my job is just different than other people's that might be going into a
Yeah.
bigger company, with more
Yeah.
SDRs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean,
But
for
everybody,
200 people, you'd think they're actually. I would think there'd be a couple more SDRs than only three, but
actually, there's 4. I forgot, but they're hiring that person.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Yeah, and until we get, I mean, it was so slow in fall. I think that we will be getting another one in
more,
for the
yeah,
US now. Um, yeah. So
okay,
maybe,
okay.
yeah.
Well, cool. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time this afternoon on your end in your day. You want to make sure you hit all
Yeah.
your activities. So, I appreciate the time. I'll let you go. I won't take up too much more of it or any more. So
Sounds good.
awesome. All
All
right,
right.
Jennifer. Well, if you need anything, let me know. Have a good rest of your day, and best of luck this week. Take
Yep.
care.
Thanks, Andrew. Have a great one.